Hey guys, welcome to the MMA Brothers podcast, the newest, baddest, and best podcast out there. And let's get it going. Hello, guys, and welcome back to the MMA Brothers podcast. My name is Daryl.
My name is Asher.
We're talking UFC 252, DC versus Stipe 3, episode 59. Let's get it going.
Woo! I'm sweating. And I did not pop Molly.
Wow.
It's all.
What a way to start, man. I'm sorry to hear that bad joke.
For anybody that understands hip hop, you get the joke. But anyways, guys, Stipe Miocic versus Daniel Cormier 3 this Saturday, August 15th. As per usual, we're gonna start at the bottom of the main card. We just covered the main card, guys, which is a long wait. How long was this main card?
The main card stops 5 fights.
So,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Kuteleba is the first fight.
Yeah, sure. Anyways, we'll assume that that's the first fight of the card. I didn't see the full breakdown. Anyways, guys, we have Magomed and Kalayev.
This is a rematch.
Is it a rematch?
Because remember, Kuteleba, in the last fight, he pretended like he was rocked and then the referee stopped the fight. Remember?
Oh, is that the one with the terrible stoppage?
Yeah, because Kuteleba was like, yo, I was fine. I was just faking. I was like, well, Kuteleba, you can't do that, dude. Like, you can't pretend you're hurt and then throw things. Anyway, we'll get into the fight breakdown.
Yeah, you can break it down. Go ahead.
So, Magomed and Kalev, okay, whatever.
Kalayev.
Yeah, he's Russian. He's 6'3". He's 13-1. Wrestling heavy guy with heavy hands. Ion Kuteleba, 15-5 and 1 no contest. He's from Moldova. He's 6'1". This is in the light heavyweight division. Reach advantages for no one. The leg reach is in the Russians' favor, and we're gonna get into how they win. So how they win? 50% of his wins, of his 13 wins, have come by KO or TKO, which doesn't make sense to me because 13 is an uneven number. So how does he have 50? Anyway, so Kuteleba,
Yeah, half a win by KO.
Yeah, he's got half a win. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me, right? So Kuteleba has a 79% KO percentage of his 15 wins, 14% submission, 7% decision. So what does this mean, guys? Kuteleba's coming in throwing hands. Like, that's all he does. He throws kicks. He fights very similar to Paulo Costa. I would say that he's the Paulo Costa of the light heavyweight division. And he's coming in. He's going to be pretty pissed off because, as I explained prior to me breaking down the fight, Kuteleba in the last fight was playing possum. He got hit with a punch, wanted the guy to come in close, and then he's gonna throw it. He's gonna throw heavy, like throw hooks and uppercuts and crosses. So what can you guys expect from this fight? It's gonna be a stand-up fight. It's most likely gonna come out. It won't come out of the first round. Make sure you tune in, get the pay-per-view because he's gonna try to take him down or knock him out, and he's just gonna try to knock him out. So it's gonna be classic striker versus wrestler, but this wrestler is a very good striker as well. So.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with
Kuteleba
as well, just based on that KO percentage. Almost 80% of your wins by KO. It's pretty high. Plus, he also has a more experienced record with 15-5, even though he's got more L's in his record. I'm going with that, and it's gonna be an exciting fight.
I almost never bet against Russians, but I've just seen Kuteleba fight before, and he's disgusting.
So next we got the magician John Dodson versus Merab Dalvishvili. Whatever, I'm not gonna try to pronounce his name. Yeah,
the magician versus the machine.
The machine versus the machine versus the magician. So John Dodson has been in the UFC for a long time, 22-11 with his MMA record, and 11-4 for Merab. So US versus Georgia, 5'3" versus 5'6". John Dodson used to fight at flyweight, but now he's been fighting at bantamweight primarily because the weight cut was too much for him. 2-inch reach advantage for Merab. And now we're going to go into the stats. So John Dodson, even though he's a tiny guy at 5'3", he hits guys and they go to sleep.
Yeah, lefty. So, those lefties, man. Yeah, I don't know what's
John Dodson don't. Yeah, he looks like a silly guy who's goofy, but he knocks guys out and does backflips off the cage. So it's nasty.
It's a small backflip, but it's a backflip.
John Dodson, he fought Demetrius Johnson. He dropped Demetrius Johnson too. One fight, some people thought he won. But anyways, Demetrius Johnson being the second fighter pretty easy. So John Dodson is very experienced. He's fought the who's in the UFC for his weight classes. I'm gonna pick him. I know these stats don't look too favorable. Most of this guy's fights are won by decision and a couple KOs and one submission or two. So I'm not gonna pick Mayhem. I'm going John Dodson, the magician, who's I know is experienced and gets dubs. So that's what I got.
Yeah, and once again, guys, Merab is the up and coming fighter, the machine from Georgia. He's ranked 15th. John is ranked 12th. What does this mean? You got to make a name for yourself when you're fighting the higher ranked guy. You got to come out there and make a statement win in order for you to get the higher ranked opponent. John loses, he's in a very bad position because he just lost to the 15th ranked guy. Who knows if he's even going to be ranked after the fight. So what's John going to do? He's going to say, hey, you're ranked lower than me. I'm going to come here. I'm going to start you, get you out of here. You're not even going to be ranked anymore. John's a very hand-heavy guy, but he can also wrestle. But his bread and butter is the stand-up game. It looks like Merab, based off of his stats about him winning majority of his wins by decision, he's most likely going to grind it out by wrestling, clinching up against the cage.
He is the bigger fighter.
Yeah, so. He is 5'6", right? Yeah. And he's coming down from...
No, it's both bantamweight.
Oh, it's both at bantamweight? Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so he's got 2-inch reach, the man from Georgia, so... I'm going to go with John. I just think John's seen it all, done it all, and he's faced higher level fighters than Merab. So I'm going to go with John Dodson.
Yep, we both got John Dodson on that one. So next, we got Mr. CTE, Junior Dos Santos, Cigano versus Jorginho, knocked out by Francis Biggie Boy Rosenstruik. So 21-7 for Junior Dos Santos versus 10-1, 1 L from the Beast. Not the Beast, what's his name? The Predator. Brazilian JDS versus Surname. Surname. Same height, and
which is so surprising.
I'm surprised that Jorginho weighs more.
No, and also Jorginho doesn't look 6'4".
Yeah, he's more like 6'2". He's not.
No, he looks like he's 6 feet.
Ngannou is like 6'4", so, and he was taller than Jorginho, so I don't know what.
No, and Jorginho, I don't know. He just something about Jorginho is just off, but
his body.
He doesn't look like he hits hard, but he knocks out dudes with. Anyways.
1-inch reach advantage for Jorginho. And we're going to go into the stats. So 90% of his wins are by KO and 71% by KO by JDS. So the only issue I have with JDS is he's very, very flat-footed. Like, he moves very, not stiff, but like he doesn't move very well. It's not very smooth, his movement, right? He has power in both hands. He can kick well. He's knocked out a lot of guys in the UFC, but he also has taken a beating in the UFC. His chin is deteriorating. He can take a punch, but to me, in my opinion, I know like his KO rate is so high, but I don't understand why. Because it's like he doesn't look like he swings and hits that hard, but when he
because like he wears on you. With
Yeah.
Junior, it's an accumulation of punches. He doesn't throw anything with 100% because he's a boxer, right? He's gonna peppering you with shots, peppering you. Then he's gonna land a vicious one. So like it's an accumulation more than.
Yeah. So this one, I'm actually gonna pick Rosenstruik just because I have a feeling he's gonna be able to hit Dos Santos, and Dos Santos will get KO. I think Dos Santos is ranked higher, right? Yeah, number 5 versus number 6. So that's just me. I think Dos Santos a little slower than Jorginho, and I think he'll be able to get it done. Who you got?
Against better judgment, I'm gonna go with Junior. I just think Junior will learn from his loss from Ngannou, because that was his most recent loss, if I'm not mistaken, right?
He lost to Curtis Blades too. I don't know which one was more recent.
Yeah, but anyways.
Yeah.
So Junior's a very good striker.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's a better striker than Jorginho, in my opinion. Jorginho's a better kickboxer, but in terms of hand fighting, I think Junior's got the advantage there. Now, Junior's seen it all, done it all in the heavyweight division. He's seen everyone. He hasn't fought Stipe, he hasn't fought Verdum, he hasn't fought everyone. He has, right? So Junior is a very experienced fighter. He's gonna probably clinch. I know he's not a clinch fighter. He's probably gonna clinch Jorginho, get the power down, and then he's gonna start throwing his strikes. He's gonna learn from his mistakes. You can't stand and bang with guys like Jorginho.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Him and Ngannou, probably the only two dudes you're like, let's clinch up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's not gonna load up on his hands because remember with Ngannou, he threw a heavy right hand after a leg kick, missed, and then now his back was turned. Then he got clipped behind the head. Now he went down. So I think this is going to be a very interesting fight, guys. Heavyweight fights, especially with the top creme de la creme, almost never go to a decision because these guys are going to knock you out within a few seconds.
Yep.
Jorginho is going to try to bounce back from his last loss, his first loss of his career. So you're going to expect him to be a little bit tentative, in my opinion, because you just got KO'd viciously. You know what I mean? Junior has been KO'd before. Like, you know what I mean? It's not like he's going to be coming back off of, anxiety and whatever. He's seen it all, done it all. I'm going to go with the more experienced fighter who's been there and been heavyweight champ versus him. So
yeah, it's a good point. You make a good case for JDS. So you got JDS, I got Rosenstruik. Next fight, Sugar Sean O'Malley versus Marlon Chitovera. This one, Sean O'Malley is stepping up in competition, right? So he's got a 12-0 record versus 15-6-1 for Marlon Vera. Vera's from Ecuador. Sean O'Malley is American. He's a very, very tall bantamweight at 5'11", and Marlon Vera is at 5'8". Like I said, it's a bantamweight, and Sean O'Malley has a 1.5-inch reach advantage. So O'Malley can win the fight many ways, but most of the ways that he wins is in KO or TKO fashion. Marlon Vera is kind of across the board. He can submit you and he can knock you out as well. But Sean O'Malley, his movement is amazing. His punches, I don't know how people just get knocked out because it doesn't seem like he puts his whole body into it.
It's
just
precise.
standing still.
It's precise.
Just leans forward and then guy's out. And I'm like, oh, what? You know, so...
He hits hard and
does, but
he's precise with his strikes. Like, he doesn't hit you in the nose. He hits you in the jaw every single time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So he just, like, aims and fires. Kind of like Izzy, same thing. Izzy and Sean O'Malley, you never see them swing, like, heavy. Like, they're all about, like, accurate. It's kind of thing like McGregor, too.
Yeah,
sometimes he does throw heavy, but he, like, McGregor, you see him, like, you never see him, like, do that. It's just kind of like, boom, and then the guy's down. And it's like, whoa. What
he doesn't throw a lot of wind-up in his punches, which not very few MMA pros swing from the hip. But, like, Sean, it's like his hands are constantly moving to keep, you know what I mean? Like, in his last knockout of that guy, I forget his name, Eddie Wineland, right? So I think he caught Eddie with the right hand, stunned him, threw a spinning heel kick, came back down, faked uppercut, I think he faked a left hand, faked an uppercut, then he came over the top. You know what I mean? His hands are consistently moving. So he's like, oh, okay, he's going to throw something. He faked it, he didn't move, he faked it, he didn't move, then he cracked him, then he went down. So Sean O'Malley's probably got the dub. I think that his confidence is so high that he has no regard for anyone else's striking. Marlon's a good striker too. You might try to take him down and submit him, but to get him down and submit him, you have to come in within striking range, and it's easier said than done to take down Sean O'Malley. So I'm gonna go with Sean.
I'm gonna go with Sean O'Malley as well. I just think his movement
riding the hype train.
I'm riding the hype train. I'm not too sold on Marlon. I know Marlon has a lot of experience. He's more experienced fighter than Sean, but I just think that, like, he's not the type of opponent to beat Sean O'Malley. Like, I think. Anyways, we'll discuss later who I think is going to be Sean O'Malley, but in this fight, I think we both got Sean, and I hope he gets a good dub and is able to face at the top 10 of the bantamweight division going forward. Ooh, it's time!
Shut up.
Mr. Darrell, I'll let you break this one down.
Wait, how does... Oh, the one no contest was John? Mm-hmm. Oh, okay, because there's like 2 losses. I know he's lost twice to John, once to Stipe. Mm-hmm. Anyways, Stipe Miocic, number 1 contender. Oh, no, he's the champ versus Daniel, the number 1 contender. This is a rubber match. Daniel won the first fight by knockout within the first 3 minutes of the fight. Stipe won the second fight by TKO in the 4th round. Stipe has a 19-3-0 record. Both of them hailing from the United States. Daniel is 22-2-1 no contest. Stipe comes in at 6'5", which is ridiculous. I didn't know Stipe is 6'5", big dude. Daniel comes in at 5'11", probably 5'10". Just giving him an extra inch. Stipe will come in weighing around 230. I don't know why it says 240 because the last 2 fights.
Both are around 230.
Yeah, and then Cormier came in last time at like 248, right? So I think Daniel said he got tired in the last fight, so he's going to come in probably at a lower weight. I think Daniel will come in at like 240, 238 max. Stipe's got a 7.5-inch reach advantage. And Daniel's got the leg reach. Interesting. Stipe's got 72% KO percentage, meaning he's going to knock you out. Like, Stipe is one of the best boxers, if not between him and JDS, one of the best boxers in the UFC. So you got to be very careful when you come with him. He's got 6% by submission, 22% by decision. Going against with DC. DC has 45% of his wins coming by KO or TKO, 23% by submission, 32% by decision. As you can tell by the numbers, DC has more ways to win usually than Stipe. Stipe is usually going to knock you out or get a decision. He's not going to submit you, and it's very rare you go with the decision with Stipe because he's probably going to knock you out. You know what I mean? He doesn't hit hard. Stipe doesn't throw 100% power in all of his strikes, as you see among the creme de la creme. They don't throw everything in, but they throw it precisely. Whereas DC, now that he's moved up to heavyweight, he cracks and stuns dudes now, right? You know what I mean? Even his coaching and training partners were saying DC's knocking dudes out in the gym, right? So I think, in my opinion, based off of the last 2 fights, Cormier is going to win. The reason I'm saying this is because he's won 4 out of 5 rounds, in my opinion. They've had 5 rounds so far in total with the 2 fights. Daniel knocked him out in one of the rounds. Got TKO'd in one of those rounds. Okay, cool. Throw away those 2. Those 3 rounds that we're going to use as a sample size. He took down Moicic, held him down for 1 straight round. The other round, he stood with him, stood and banged, and was clipping Stipe. It was a little bit closer in the second round, in the second fight, but Daniel still edged him out with strikes. Third round, same story. DC was standing up and banging with Stipe. Almost knocked him out, in my opinion. He stunned Stipe a lot. And I don't know how Stipe said it, the first fight was kind of a fluke because he's been hit by harder shots and he didn't go down, he just didn't see it coming. Daniel has, in my opinion, if he just knew how to shoot for the takedown, he's getting cracked to the body instead of just trying to eat them and stand up. Because he was winning the stand-up fight and he was winning in takedown. So, like, you know what I mean? Every facet of the fight so far, Daniel has been winning, except when he went to the body, Daniel had no answer. But take him down. You know what I mean? Like, you're an Olympic level wrestler. Stipe's no slouch. He's an NCAA wrestler. I don't know if he's an NCAA champ. He might have been. Very good wrestler. But take your chances and take him down. As Daniel said, Stipe, wear your wrestling shoes. We're going to be wrestling. It's a smaller octagon. Stipe can't circle off the cage as well as he used to because I think there's 5 less feet of diameter. So I'm going to go... I don't want this to be a KO or a victory or TKO victory for anyone. I'd rather see a submission or a decision win for either one of them. I'm going to go with Daniel Cormier just because whenever the chips are stacked against him, he always, other than John Jones, he always comes through. And I just think he must have figured out a way to beat him. He's got Cain Velasquez training with him, Luke Rockhold. He's got the best creme de la creme of fighters training with him. Not to say that Stipe doesn't, but if you're going up against one of the greatest heavyweights in Cain Velasquez, you're going to train very well for Stipe. So I'm going to go with DC.
I don't really know who to go with. Like Daryl said, DC is going to come to wrestle for sure. He will stand, obviously, to mix it up, but I think it's primarily going to be Cormier trying to take him down and ground and pound him. Kind of like the way he beat Rumble Johnson in both fights. I can see him trying to implement that. But yeah, honestly, like this fight, like I said earlier, it gets me feeling some type of way because, like, honestly, both guys are just great guys. This is what sports is, it's competition. There has to be a winner. So who wins this fight will technically be the greatest heavyweight of all time. Cormier wants to leave on top. Moicic wants to add another belt to his heavyweight resume. So I'm going to go with Cormier, but I'm honestly not very confident in that. I'm not going to bet on this fight because who wins, I will not be surprised.
And I won't be happy.
And I won't be happy either. I think Moicic is like 38, so he's no spring chicken either. So both Cormier is 41. So both these fighters, yeah, I'm going to go with DC. So it makes me feel weird. But yes, these fighters are going to throw it down.
Whenever it's a very close differential, guys, go with the wrestler.
You could honestly tell how the commentators were rooting for Cormier to win because when he lost the second fight, I could hear Dominic Cruz going like, oh! And you could see Joe Rogan's reaction saying, oh my god, like they couldn't believe what they saw. Like Cormier lost, you know what I mean? Because they're all boys. Like Cormier is at the commentary desk with them and stuff like that. And obviously they were favoring him, but they're trying to not seem biased.
They're trying to keep it impartial, but you can tell. But then again, it's human bias.
Human nature, I get it.
Anyways, guys, let us know what you think. Let us know who you got. Thanks again for tuning in and listening. Stipe Miocic versus Daniel Cormier 3. It's going to be a pay-per-view. Episode 59, MMA Brothers Pod on Instagram. Follow us, like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you check out our interviews with the fighters that we did at the Grunge Gentleman. Thanks again to those fighters for giving us a chance to interview them. We're looking forward to be growing in the MMA community. Let us know what you guys think. We'd love to hear what you guys want us to do in terms of content, comments, and everything. So we really appreciate it. And we're going to be moving to Zoom after this, as my brother's moving to South Korea. So we're going to keep the content coming, keep everything, but it's just going to be over Zoom now. And if we do interviews, they'll be conducted by me. So they'll be less professional, but they'll still be funny. So, yeah.
Don't worry about it. And yes, check out the merch. We got a Teespring store, so we got some stuff going. If you want to support the podcast, that would be greatly appreciated. And yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. So this is the last, actually, yeah, this is the last TV screen episode for a while. So who knows? Maybe we'll be back in the basement, and then next time you see us together, we'll be in the studio. Who knows? But I guess we'll see.
Okay, I'm leaving. I'm leaving.